How's that? Can you hear me now? I've had to jump into something else's audio. So let me have a look here at the chat and see if you can hear me now. We need you to teach you the sign language. You can hear me. Yay! Okay, well, let me just fix this up so it doesn't peak too much. It's a different microphone. It's not the one I'm wearing. So it's a webcam mic. I don't know why the one I'm wearing didn't work. It's very weird. It's very weird. But you can hear me. I'm loud and clear. Let's have a look here. I'm just having a quick look through chat so you can all hear me, so that's good. It's not too loud, I hope. That was a close. The advantage is, because I'm here in the office, that it means that I've got like 5 different microphones. The worst thing it would have happened is that I would have had to pause, run over, sort something out. Too many inputs, it got confused. Well, I forgot to actually test the other system. I'm on my normal one, the standard, that should have just worked no problems. So I don't know why it's been naughty. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's very bizarre. And hopefully it's not, the audio is not bad. So let me know if the audio is bad and we'll see what we can do about it. Anyway, you guys aren't here for audio. You're not here for an audio lesson. New webcam it is. It's a bit like that. It's a bit like that. So, so many things have happened this week. So many things. It's really, really weird. But there's just, so we have a new member of the Fiberific team. So went through and there was so many amazing people who applied in, and it was such a tough choice to see who I wanted to talk to and who I didn't. Not that I didn't, but you know what I mean. And sort of have some conversations and work some things out. And I really hope that I've got some more jobs coming up, because there's so many of you that I would have loved to have had with me. And so I made a choice and I made a call. So Tammy Brand, who sometimes pops in, sometimes doesn't, she can't always be here for our live streams, but she's going to be coming into work in Fibrific HQ. She's going to be our order packer extraordinaire, and come in and just work like one day a week. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited. She's so excited she can't get the words out. Absolutely. So yeah, so starting next week we have someone else coming in to help me with order packing and sort of organizing of the actual warehousey. I use the term warehouse very loosely. But the sort of more stock side of things, so Tammy can come in and help with that. That's her history and her experience is stock and stores. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy. Give me more dye time. Well, I'm hoping it's going to give me more time to create videos and get some more content out for you guys. So, oh, bug. So yes, it was very weird. So this morning I'm setting everything up. I don't know what the problem is. It just seems quite dark in here, even with all the lights on. I'm not quite sure what the go is there. Anyway, I think my laptop might be upset and punishing me because it knows I've ordered a replacement. So it's like, oh, I'm not good enough for you, am I? Well, here, have all the glitchies. Dye time is video content. Well, some dye time is video content. Some is not. Let's just go with that. But yeah, so it'll definitely give me more time to put together ideas and have more hands to help me push those ideas out. So one of the ideas that we will be going with, let's say, it's an idea that I've had for a little while now and I've talked about, but I haven't done. And so I'm going to go down into a top-down camera because we're all fancy here at Fibrific. So I'm going to pull this in, and what we have here is the kit. Oops, I didn't plan that. The kit is ready for the neutrals of the beanie, which I've left inside. So that's great. So we have the Brights kit, which will also have the Storm as well. So it's 50 grams, not 50, what am I saying? 15 grams each of the 5 DK colors plus a 50-gram ball of the gray. And then we also have it in double shot, coffee, latte, aloe, and Burrows Tails with the Storm as well. So this is my dad's set. So it's going to be online as the Shane selection because my dad's name is Shane. So the Shane selection is this one, and Shanti's Brights is the other one. So they'll be up on the website this afternoon. I've just got to take a photo of each of these in their boxes, and then it's up and it's ready. So I could probably release it now if you don't need a photo. So I'm very excited. So it's the beautiful Andromeda DK squish. So in the nice aloe, not aloe, what am I saying? That is the Burrows Tails, and this is the aloe. So, and then the coffees. So what do you think? I'm just going to pop the chat back up because I can't see. Thumbs up, peeps. We have less than half of the watchers liking this video. Oh, thank you. That would be great. So it's the Rain Brioche Beanie. That's exactly right, Kim. Thank you. The Rain Brioche Beanie kits. I'm just going to do this because we've got such a big screen here. Rain Brioche Beanie kits. So we have it in the Shanti's Brights, which is the one that I made my hat out of. And also in the Shane selection, which is my dad, because these are the colors he wants me to make him one in. So you'll find that, like, at the moment I have got the same number of kits available because I've used one for myself here and I'm going to use one for my dad here. So at the moment there's only limited kits, and the aloe color may be a limited edition. I have to see if I can do it again. I have enough for a few kits, but I don't know if I can replicate the process I did to get the really nice semi-solid there. So what do you think? Do you guys like this? Is one of them aloe vera? This one is aloe vera, because it's beanie weather now. I know, Kim, I know, okay, I know. I was actually joking with Justin about it the other day, and he was like, so are these beanies gonna have ice in them? And I'm just like, I know it took me a while to do this. I understand, but they're great little gifts for Christmas. They'll be 30 Australian dollars for the kit. Now the kit does not include the pattern. You'll need to go to visit, what's her name, Katrin? Oh, I can't remember her name. I feel terrible. I should have written it down. But you'll have to go to Catherine's Ravelry page, which the links will all be there on the listing, and then you can pick up the pattern, and then it's lovely to work with. So this is the thing, guys. This was my first attempt at brioche, was making this hat. I feel ridiculous that I didn't grab the hat off the table. Katrin Schubert, thank you, Sally. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Gamer Widow says Northern Hemisphere target market or Melbourne. Because, like, I'm not kidding. I'm in Queensland. It is just spring now. And we've been told today is going to hit a top of 32 degrees. It is definitely not beanie weather here in Brisbane. But in saying that, Melbourne, which is only, you know, a bit south, just a little south, they're definitely having beanie weather right now. One box has an extra ball. No, it's just I only had one ball made ready, so I'm like moving it. So it could be in this box or it could be in this box. So I will, when you get your kit, it will be the complete box, okay? So with 12% humidity, yes, it's quite dry, rather, isn't it? The other problem, I'm having a little bit of a problem with my breathing today, as there are some wildfires local as well. So it's a bit smoky. It's actually not too bad here, but where I was when I dropped Abby off at school this morning, I could not get out of the car. Let's just say that. It's a bit more than just a bit south. That's true, Jackie. That's true. It's like a 3-hour plane ride. So, but it's not like it's like, you know, like over the hemisphere line or anything like that. I'm a brat, says Freaky Geek. Okay. Leanne says it's so smoky here in Pimpamar. Yeah, apparently the hinterlands are on fire, Leanne. I don't know any more details than that. That's all I know. Kim Scullen says, I want to skip Scout Leader training and go to IKEA. Oh, that's actually a very good reminder, Kim. So for the last 2 years or so, we've been meeting up at the coffee club at Browns Plains, and we made the very big decision to change our location for our group. Quite a few reasons, which we won't go into, but we tested it out, like a small group of us went and tested it out last week, and it was actually really quite comfortable. It wasn't too busy. We had lots of room. We could just go and get our food and drinks when we wanted. It was a lot less expensive. In saying that, Kim made a very valid point yesterday on Facebook, which is the money we save on our dinner, we will probably spend in IKEA. That's probably closer to the truth than I'd care to admit, admittedly. But I really do like the new place. I love the feel of it. The staff seem to like the idea. So we're going to be meeting up at IKEA tonight at Logan in Queensland at 6:30. For those of you that can make it, that would be awesome. We'd love to see you there. It's open to anybody who crafts, because it's caffeinated crafters, it's not caffeinated knitters. As long as your projects are sort of lap-sized, you know, we do want to have some respect for the area that we're in, and even though there's lots of tables, I don't know if they'd appreciate someone just wheeling in a long arm. Game Widow says it's a slippery slope, Kim, and that's how I got suckered back in. Yeah. Leanne says going early to shop first, I think. That's actually a good idea. Game Widow says IKEA meatballs, for sure. Chintami's going to be there around 8. Chintami, just keep an eye on the time, because apparently the kitchen shuts at 8:30. So I suppose it's no different than the coffee club, really, is it? Because they shut their kitchen down around 8 anyway. Jennifer says, I'd love to join you this evening, but we'll have to wait until the school holidays. Jennifer, we would love to see you when you can come, and I definitely understand about the school holidays thing, for sure. School holidays will probably have a few extras. I know Abby is very keen. She came along last week just to trial it out and was just like, I want to come back next week. I want to come back. I'm like, no, it's a school night, and you've got assignments and exams, so no to you. So yeah, it's so I'm gonna move these. So do you guys like these little kits? Just so you know, like, just yay or nays. What do you think? Do you think, like, they're $30? You get about 125 grams in total across your yarn, so 50 here and about 15 of each of those. It's enough yarn to make the adult size hat according to the pattern. So yeah, I'm loving it, because one of the things I really want to do is start making more kits for everybody, be able to have it all kitted up. Maybe not necessarily always have cute little donut balls for everybody, but on this particular occasion I thought, you know what, I want to make the balls rather than just skeins. So yeah, we got little donut balls. Kerry Randall says, yeah, the natural one for me. Awesome. You like the greens, Kerry? I was a bit torn what to do, but Dad really wanted green, and considering the first one was supposed to be for him, you know. Freaky Geek says that they like the earth tones. Jackie likes the look of them. That's so good, you guys. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it. So I had another funny story to tell you guys, but I can't remember what it was. Does that Kim says she prefers skeins because they stack on her shelf better. Okay, Kim. I'm just going to drop us back up here to the face camera. Face cam. So yeah, because I've got nothing in my hand, so I may as well utilize it. Kim Scullen says, I want to pick my own colours though. Well, Kim, there's a problem with that, because these are 15-gram balls, and I don't know how I feel about you going through them. Leanne says, I can't wait to see your dad's hat made. Neither can I. I balled his up. It's all inside ready to start. So I'll be, like I did with my one, as I go through, I'll pop all photos up on Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, why not? You need to fix that. Jump over to Instagram and just follow Fiberific. I'm not terribly prolific on Instagram. I mean, there are days. There are days, honestly. But more often than not, it's not too bad. Kerry Randall says, yeah, I have Tiff. This is Tiff in this one, and that's in the brights. So, yeah, there's some Tiff there. The different coloured ones remind me of Easter and pastel. I don't know what that is. Stop wobbling the table. No, I like wobbling the table. No, I'll try and stop wobbling the table. What's prolific? Not me on Instagram. That's for sure. Sally says, I'm a little bit intimidated by brioche knitting. Sally, I can 100% understand where you're coming from. Like, brioche knitting was one of those things, for me, it was up there with steeking. And just watching people just make these phenomenal things. Kim made this gorgeous cowl. Kylie from Fiber Lily's just like a brioche crazy person who just does insanely good work. And so I saw all this stuff, and I agree with you, I was totally intimidated by brioche knitting. And but the thing was, I really, really wanted to do it. I didn't want to be put off anymore by a thing that I really wanted to do. So I'm just going to see if I can fix it. And I really wanted to just make sure, I wanted to make it. I didn't want to be held back. So what I did was I very quietly started a project. I found the rain brioche hat. Everything I've read said it was a great beginner's project. It didn't look too scary. You know how some of that intertwining sort of traveling sort of vines and things that the brioche is just famous for. It's just so good. I was terrified to start with something like that. So I wanted something a little bit more, I wanted something more basic to start on, because I like to start and have success. Like everybody, really. We don't like to start and fail. So I just went and just was like, okay, I need a beanie for Bendigo. So I was looking for a brioche beanie in particular. And there were some of the ones with the beautiful traveling vines and things like that. And I was just like, oh no. And then I saw this one, and the colors that they'd done it in, and everything was just me. I was like, I want this. I want to make this. And I think it was because I wanted it so badly, and I wanted to make that thing. So I would say, find a pattern that you love, get some quiet time, sit back and just relax. There are YouTube videos for every stitch out there, because that's what I did. I did totally was just YouTubing how to do it, and that's what I did. And so I went that way. You say you've never done color changing in knitting. Well, the advantage with brioche knitting is it's one row in one color, one row in another color. So you have to knit 2 rows to complete a round, if that makes sense. So you're not actually like doing like Fair Isle where you're knitting and having to travel the yarns. You're slipping stitches and knitting stitches. And it's a bit more like double knitting in that regard. So, and that was something I really liked as well, because I've done a little bit of Fair Isle knitting, and while I liked it and I liked the process of it, I had some feedback one time that was a little, I'm going to say harsh, a little harsh and a little negative. And rather than saying, hey, you know, maybe you could do this, it was just like, it's a bit tight, isn't it? And just threw it back at me. And I was just like, oh, okay. And so I've been a little bit put off Fair Isle, which I shouldn't be. I shouldn't allow one person's negativity to stop me from doing something. But I moved on to brioche, and I love brioche, so I'm going to keep going. So, but that's the thing. Give yourself patience, give yourself time, and cups of tea and a nice comfy chair. And next thing you know, you'll be like, especially with me with this rainbow hat, or the rain brioche hat, I was just like, next color, man, I want to do the next color. I'm not going to bed until I finish this color. So I had a lot of that going on. So yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. But my advice is just dig in, find a pattern you like, and go hard. Where are we? Just having a quick read. Game of Widows, yep, same as Kim, just jumps in head first. And I do that with some things. Like, I jumped into, my first lace was a Boo Knits lace pattern. It wasn't like a basic lace. I just went Boo Knits, beaded lace, off we go. But I don't know what it was about brioche that just really stressed me out. So I needed to step back a little. And that's the advantage with knitting and crocheting and yarn crafting and doing all these things, is it's our make. We're making it. We can step back if we want. You're not making it for a customer who has come up to you and gone, I want you to make this crazy wild thing that you've never made before. So it's one of those things. It's just, you want to make it, you make it, you enjoy the process. That's why we do all this. That's why we're here. We love yarn crafting, whether it's spinning it, felting it, weaving it, crochet, knitting, dyeing, whatever. We love yarn craft, and so you need to enjoy the process of learning, because I don't know about you, but I'm always learning something new. And that's why I don't confess to be the world's best teacher or anything like that, because I'm still learning. There's lots of things, lots of little techniques like brioche, steeking. Oh, I've never steeked. So for those of you that don't know what steeking is, quite especially in sort of those beautiful Norwegian Fair Isle jumpers, they'll make them in a tube and they will steek in the sleeves. So they literally cut through their knitting and attach a sleeve. And if they're making it into a cardigan, they cut all the way up the front of their knitting. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so the thought of steeking terrifies me. I have seen people do it and it's stunning. It's so effective and it's so wonderful, but the actual thought of doing it terrifies me. So I haven't done it. But I've had plenty of people who've offered to like sit down with me and they're like, it's not that scary. And I'm like, but it is. I'm going to cut my knitting and it's going to, and they're like, it won't. You're going to prepare your knitting. And it's just like, well, prepare me. I need to be prepared. Anyway. Oh dear. It all just holds together. I know, that's the thing. It's magic. It's witchcraft and magic. But it does sound scary, doesn't it, Christine? But yeah, so I went down the brioche path. I thought, okay, I wanted to learn a new skill. And these two have been on the top of the list for a while. And I was like, steeking, brioche. So I ran for the brioche. Sally says, I've seen that and my heart jumps into my throat. For me too, every time. Jackie says, I think we need to try it on a small test piece first. Absolutely. I think it would be fantastic. Villic has finally caught in on a live chat. Hey, Villic, it's been ages since we've seen you on a live. Kim says, we kept talking about doing a brioche cowl. We did, and I was just chickened out of the cowl and went with the beanie. Now, guys, I did bring some craft in, but because I was running around a little bit frazzled before the live stream here, I haven't worked out where I'm up to. So I don't know if I really want to do that on camera or not. But yeah. So, Villic says, yeah, my computer sometimes gives me the live stream hours later. Villic, YouTube is, and for everybody else listening, like those of you that are here, you already know, you know the drill. YouTube don't share out the live stream link straight away. The best thing to do is set it up in your calendar, in your own personal calendar. And because I stream at the same time every week, unless there's something crazy going on, which you'll know about in advance usually, I stream at 10 a.m. every Thursday Brisbane time. So about, I started about half an hour ago, or just under half an hour ago. So if you definitely don't want to miss out, pop it in your calendar, because it's one of those things, right? Like, I don't want this in any way to sound harsh or grateful or anything like that, but this is how YouTube see things, okay, guys? So my channel has about just under 3,500 subscribers, right? Now, here in the live chat, those of you who come in and hang out, I've just realized I've got top chat, not live chat. Whoops, so sorry if I've missed your message. Those of you that come and hang out is anywhere between sort of 30 and 40. Now that's only like, what is that? 1%. 1% of the subscribed people coming. So YouTube look at that and go, oh, it's only 1%. Maybe they're not enjoying it. So it's not until people start commenting heaps and thumbs upping and sharing it out and things like that, that YouTube goes, oh, hang on a second. That 1% really are into this. Maybe her next 5% need to know there's a link out. So then they'll send it out. But they wait until they see if everyone else is enjoying it. So if you want to make sure you get it from the start, you need to sort of get yourself here, if that makes sense. Kim says, I wish my kids had a top chat, live chat option. I agree. The best 1%. The best. We should totally have a badge called the 1% badge. No, people would totally take that the wrong way, wouldn't they? Like 1%ers. No. We'll have to come up with something. Freaky Geek says, how about a no chat option? Oh my gosh, a number of times I have needed a mute button. I'm like, mute, please stop. Oh my god. No, there's no mute option. So let me think here. I'm just sitting here because there's something else I want to talk to you about. Oh, of course. I just realized my framing's really bad. Sorry, guys. So especially when I lean back to not bump the table, but if I lean in, it's heaps better. Andrew wishes her kids had a mute button as well. Awesome. So glad it's not just me. Next week, you guys, on the 11th of September, it is Fiberific's birthday. It is 8 years since I started this business up. Not 8 years since we started YouTube, and not 8 years since I went online, but 8 years since I started the business. So if you are interested, this weekend there'll be an email going out talking about a sale next week, and also talking about birthday specials, things like that. So if you are not a member of the Fiberific newsletter, you might want to get on that. So if one of the mods can grab a link, that would be great. Kim says we should have an extra live stream. I think it's the Wednesday. What I'm going to try and do is I'll try and do a Facebook stream. Oh, maybe we could just do it here on Facebook. I mean, here on YouTube. I don't know. I'll think about it, because I like that idea too. We could have a little party, like a little birthday party. So that would be fun. Sue says, I've been known to offer my kids $5 to be quiet for 5 minutes. I've been tempted by that, but I know my daughter, she would like sit there with a stopwatch and just be like, okay, 5 minutes is up, and I thought of all these things, I'm going to say them really fast so that you can't actually stop me from talking. So yeah. Freaky says that darts are going to start back up for him. Oh, so we're going to miss you then. Live stream on a Saturday maybe. I have to have a look into it. We've got some pretty big family stuff coming up over the next few weeks. Kim has tossed up a link to the newsletter sign up. If you are not a member of the Fiberific newsletter, you should jump on that. That information with the links and the birthday party stuff will probably just be on the website and on the, actually, you know what, I probably am going to tweet about it and everything, but you'll need the links. Kerry Randall has got to leave for work for now, but we'll order the brain brioche hat. They will be up after I finish the live stream. I'll take some photos and I'll get them up. I'll actually get them up first. The listings are there and waiting for a photo. So I'll release the listings and then I'll sit down and do photos, and then those of you that come later will see photos as well. So Kim says, I'm free on the 11th, so we can party. Awesome. I missed what Rebecca Nelson said, hang on a second, Rebecca. Someone's agreeing with you and I don't know what you said. I've been looking for a while and this year I'm hoping to grow some coloured cotton. Oh, we're talking about cotton. I love cotton. I grew some cotton once here. Turns out my chickens really like it and ate it all. But I ended up with just one little plant instead of lots of plants. But I love the little flower that it grows. It's just this gorgeous little, it's like a baby hibiscus flower nearly. And then that dies off and becomes your cotton ball. But yeah, I don't see a message from Rebecca. No, me neither. That's all right. I thought it was just me. I'm double checking. I've got the live chat. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on there. That's fine. I don't know what's going on most of the time. So, you do know that cotton is the fruit. Well, that's like anything. The flower has to be pollinated to make the fruit. Oh, it was ages ago. Okay, thank you, Kim. I missed it. It must have been before I'd switched over to live chat. So guys, you know how we had the problem with the overhead camera and I needed to make sure that I replaced it, which I did, which I now have my little Brio, which I love. I may have also purchased some other things at the same time to try and make our live streaming thing better. Because I love hanging out and I love reading the chat, and I sometimes I have to really consciously not get sucked into the chat because I could just sit here staring at it and that would be very boring. I mean, not for me because I'm reading the chat and having a good time, but maybe for you. But one of the things I wanted to do was have a bit more flexibility. So one of the problems that I have, which you don't, well, you sort of see it sometimes, is the desk, and it's having the laptop on the desk. And so I end up like casting shadows, and anyway, that side of it is annoying. So I've come up with some solutions for that. And so over the next few weeks, I'm going to be trialing some different sort of setups. So there'll be differences in light setups. Like today, there's a different light setup. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I'll look at it later. There is, you know, I mean, we've got an audio problem today. It's not a setup issue. It's just there's an issue. So yeah, so you know, we've got all this sort of stuff happening behind the scenes as well. We've got a new laptop coming that will be able to cope with the rigors of live streaming better. The laptop that I've been using for the last couple of years is not designed for it. It doesn't have fans. It can't keep itself cool. So I'm constantly watching its little thermal meter, making sure it's not just going to melt. I have to set it up on this little, it's a little thing with legs with little fans in it for keeping laptops cool, just to keep it cool. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing some trials of new tech. So there'll be some live streams coming up over on Facebook while I trial some things. I'll probably try 1 or 2 here on YouTube, but I'll end up unlisting them. So unless you catch those live, they'll be gone. So on Facebook, they'll be there still, but not on YouTube. Let me look here. So how many have we got in the chat today, you guys? So you let me know while I go and dig out my yarn. Oh, craft bags that I put too far away. Alright, I got 2 projects. I got my bantam going. Maybe I could work on my bantam. And I've got my beautiful All About That brioche. It's my next step into my brioche knitting. Which one should I do? Should we knit or crochet today, you guys? I don't know. I've got one of each here. But I have to be really careful because they're both paid patterns, so I don't want to, you know, break any rules. Oh, there was something on the bag, and I think there was like some dust or something, and I'm all sneezy now. I'm going to drop it into here. There we go. So we've got 2 bags. We've got, this is the bantam, my crochet project. And this is my knitting project. I'm actually more in a crochet mood, guys, but what do you think? I'll happily do whatever you feel like. Hey Fran Elliott, welcome to the chat. Knit, lol, weave, joking, both. Are you guys are not helpful. Support spindle. I'd love to get out the support spindle, but it's not somewhere I can see it. Otherwise I'd just go and get it, because I actually feel like, now that you've said it, thanks Kim. Jackie says, by the way, I have my latest pattern open for testing over on Yarn Pond if anyone wants to jump in and do a test knit. I don't know what Yarn Pond is. I'm feeling all like old and out of the loop now. Where am I up to? I'm up to this one. And because I lost my favorite 4.5, I'm on some dodgy plastic one that I hate a lot. So I'm going to work on my Bantam shawl, you guys. So these are the colors that I've got. I've got Moran, which I've already done, which is the darker teal. I'm using Essence of Violetish, which is this one here. And then I've got Lake, Louise, my 3 greys, and my 2 pinks. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh my God, that hook. I know, Kim. I know. I went around the house searching. I've got like 11 million 4s. I had all these 4s. I'm like, I've got 4s. And I had 5s, but I could not find a 4.5 anywhere. And I'm out of stock of 4.5. So I can't even go and steal one from myself. So I'm just like, ugh. So frustrated right now that, I mean, it's not the worst hook, but it's really not the best, let me tell you that. So I'm working on the Bantam shawl from Deanne Ramsey. You guys need to go and give her some love. A lot of you have, is the reality. Where am I up to? I am up to here. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. What I might do is bring this bit more light on the situ. Let me look where I'm up to. I've got to look at the pattern and I don't want to give it away, okay? There probably is one on a T-spin set, but I prefer metal hooks personally. They're my go-to. Okay, I'm in the lace section. I'll put that over here where I can read it and you can't see it, which sounds mean, but you know, that's the reality of these things sometimes. Okay, I've just done one of those. Just bear with me, you guys. Just let me get started and then I'll be all right. I think. I'm feeling the stress now. I'm like, oh, I don't know where I'm up to. Hang on. It just feels like this is backwards. Whoops. And then I just split my own yarn with the hook. That was clever. Well done, Chantel. Well done. I like that pattern and colours. Thank you, Christine Jones. Lounge chairs eat crochet hooks. I think that's where it might be, bub. In all honesty, is I think that the lounge chair has eaten it. Lindsay still has to choose her Bantam colours yet. What I would have one suggestion, and with how it is, I would make sure that whatever you go with for your main colour is not just a variation of your of these colors. So I made a conscious effort, even though I love purple to pieces, I made a conscious effort to not include any purple into the mini skeins. So while I do have a pink, it's a different pink than the pinks. I'm going to lift this up so you can see it. While I do have some pink in here, there's like little sections because it's the all the dyes I mixed together to make the violetish. I actually sprinkle dyed, so there's all like little specks of like bits of blue, bits of pink, and then also the mixed purple. So while I have some pink, it's not the same pink, and it's just so that they can pop and they can stand out a bit more. If you have your main colors and your contrast colors too close together, it just blends in. And so that would be my only piece of advice, is just make sure that your main color is very different than your contrast colors. So let me look here. I've done that. Oh, you want to know something really funny? The really funny thing. Oh no, I'm good. I just pulled out a whole pile of work I didn't need to pull out though. Let me look here. Okay, done that. Hang on, I'm just catching up to where I'm up to, guys, so bear with me. Skip one, DC there. And that one. Okay. Oh, that was hard. that was hard. How much yarn in total is required? There's a lot of different size options that you can go with. Excuse me. I'm doing the medium. So just let me just get to the end of this little bit here and I'll flip the page on the pattern. Okay, so I'm doing the medium. I'll bring that right up. Can you guys read that? Anyway, so I need 200 gram skeins of 4-ply, and also 6 or 8 minis, 100 meter minis. So I've gone with the 8 minis because I wanted it a bit longer. It makes more like a scarf than a wrap because it stays this width, but it goes on the diagonal. So it's always this wide, but it's that wide all the way along. So it's more like a scarf than a shawl as such. There's a wider option. So there's a large, which uses 300 gram skeins plus 6 or 820 meter minis. And so, but I decided that my minis that I already make, the Fibrific minis, are 100 meter minis. So I'm like, I'm not going to mess with that. So that's where I'm going. So I'm just sort of making the version that works best with my yarn, but it was originally designed to use up scraps of your 4-ply. So if you've like got 120 meters, so for me that comes out to about 20, excuse me, about 25 grams. Or if you've got 25 gram minis, then it'll be good. And there's different lengths as well. So the small uses 200 gram skeins and then 6 or 8 80 meter minis, because it's narrower. And yeah, and it goes from there. So that's the link for the shawl. Thank you. Unusually also it says, I am applying 100 grams of cobweb weight baby camel and silk blend. That sounds delightful. That sounds amazing. Like, I love that so much. Just having a look at my light situation here because my head is blending into the background and I don't like that, because there's no lights on behind me because I'm doof. Yeah, so I don't know how much yarn in total. Like we could do the math. 100 grams by 8 by 20 grams, so that's another, so 5, that's 150. So about 350 grams of 4-ply needs for the medium. How's that? Did that math work out? You guys can check my math for me. So 200 grams plus 8 times 20 grams. So my brain just, I've already given the answer and I don't even know the answer again. Kylie's in the house. Hey Kylie, how are you going? What does camel spin up like butter? Oh my gosh, camel fluff. It's the down from underneath. It's a short fiber, but oh, it's so delicious. It's one of my favorites, honestly. Naturally it's like this honey gold color. Love it. Andrea says 360 grams. Thank you, Andrea. I knew I'd be wrong. Pip and Poppycock says, I'm looking for my Fibrific mini pack. You've received that, right? I thought I saw a photo. So your mini pack has 6 skeins in it and they're 100 meter skeins, just because I'm using a mini pack plus 2 extras. So yeah, and the 200 grams obviously. Yeah, so because the mini pack was 6, you could do it with 6, you just get a slightly shorter scarf, but I really wanted to do the 8 and I wanted some little pops of pink or something in. I don't know if I'm going to crochet any. I keep talking and I'm also worried that I'm going to stuff it up, so so I don't know if I'm going to craft today, you guys. Oh my gosh. Leonie says, yucca scarf just off the loom and I'm knotting the fringe before wet finishing. Leonie, I thought I saw someone had posted on Instagram and they tagged me in it, and it had Moran as a surname, but it wasn't your first name, and I'm like looking at it thinking, is that the yucca? But I didn't want to say anything just in case it wasn't, and they were concerned that it was going to come apart in the wash, but I think it'll just bloom. Honestly, I think it'll just bloom when you wash it. So yeah, I think it'll be totally fine. I think it will be great. I don't know what I've done different for this camera setup today. The colors just seem a little different. Like I am not that tan. But these colors are working. They look good. Let me look in the chat. Guys, it's really starting to heat up in the shed here. It was quite cold in here this morning, so I'm like, oh, I'm not going to need the heater. But not the heater, the aircon. But it's starting to. I've just realized I was like, ooh, and it's just I just realized it's getting warm. So if I roast, we know what's going on. It was funny when hubby said that was. Oh, okay. You like the color blend? Thank you, Vilek. I like it too. I'm really looking forward to starting, like I'm moving into another one of these lace sections that'll be up here. And then I'll have the next shade down. So this is the darkest. So I wanted to go dark into the light, like dark, softening down to the lights, change to the pinks, then go from lights to darks because I've got lights to darks and grey on the other end. Chintamani says it's 28 in the Gold Coast. Yeah. Leonie says, my son does all the loom stuff. I'm just helping with the hemming and the warping. Okay. Awesome. How hot was yesterday? I had a fan on the afternoon. It's so dry. Well, see, the thing for me is, it's going to sound really sad, is I can't handle being in a room with the air not moving. It makes me feel sick. And so even when it's cold, I have the fan on. Yeah. Are those specks purple? Yes, they are, Gabriella. I'll lift it up so you can see a bit better. But they're definitely purple. It's the essence of violetish. So this is the ball here. It's a bit messy, sorry. It's been floating around the bag. But there you go. Little specks of purple. I'm just trying to think. I had something. So, now, did you guys want me to talk about the hat kit again? I know there's some new people. Is that a bantam? Yes, this is a bantam. Absolutely it is. This is my bantam that I'm working on, that I'm like overwhelmed. So I want to sit and do it in front of this is the problem, you guys. I just want to sit and do it. Like normally I can just do projects with you guys, but this particular one, I don't know what it is about it, that I just want it for myself. You guys can't have it. So tell us about Dye Stream. Oh, geez, Kim, I don't know if I want to tell you about Dye Stream. So we've got Fibrific Inspo Dye Stream happening next week. If you want me to dye yarn live on camera that uses the color sort of language from your photo, then pop a photo over on Instagram with hashtag Dye Stream. I'll just try again, shall I? With hashtag Fibrific Inspo. If I use your photo to make a pretty yarn, I will message you and you get first refusal. There is absolutely zero push that you have to purchase it, but I also want you to have first chance to say no. So that's how Dye Stream works. So we've got one of those happening next week, and we have a special guest dyer coming for our last live stream of the month. So that will be fun, and there'll be more details of that coming soon. I want you to reuse my tiles photos so I get first dibs this time. I'm sorry, Kim, I didn't realize you really wanted it, because like, it's wool and you're allergic. So why? Anyway, speaking of wool and allergic, this month's Mystery Lace Club went out, and it was a beautiful 100% silk that I dyed into this gorgeous peony pink. And Kim's not allergic to silk, so Kim's very happy. Kim says do it in silk. You can start soaking it now. I don't have any silk to dye. I dyed all the silk into peony pink for Mystery Lace Club users. So Mystery Lace Club went out with like beautiful beads, which we talked about last week, and how I may have a few more of those than I needed. So if you are interested in possibly getting a Mystery Lace kit box, and this will be in your box you get everything you need to make whatever the pattern is. So you don't just get enough yarn to try it, you get enough yarn to complete at least one of the sizes. If it can't do all the sizes, I do specify about how far up it will be. But I do generally get to at least like the medium size shawls up to the larger size shawls. If it calls for beads, I put in the beads. There's always a little sweet treat, a printed copy of the pattern, as well as a digital code that you can pop onto Ravelry to go and get your digital copy to pop onto your iPad or your laptop or whatever, or just save it so you can just keep printing it out. So it is, it's really great. So if you're in Australia, it's $50 a month. You'd have to check the other countries. The thing to remember though is if you're outside of Australia, the Australia dollar is really horrible at the moment. So it'd be a really good time for you to have a little taste test. So Leanne says, oh yes, just a little tad extra beads. Yeah, just a tad. Just, yeah. Are we organising some beautiful yarn kits that have got beads with them soon to go on the website? Because there's so many beads. Oh my gosh. So many beads. There's so many beads. Kim's popped up a link there for the Mystery Lace Club if you want to be part of the Mystery Lace Club. Actually, do you guys want to see it? I've got a kit here that still needs to be posted out because I'm still confirming an address. And did you want to see what the Mystery Lace Club was for this month? Because I've got one right here. You can have a look. So, oh, everything's gonna fall on me. The world is falling. Okay, so when you get your box, it looks like this. This is what it looks like when you open your box. So I'm going to be very careful and pop that aside. And, you ready? So this month you got a beautiful skein of 100% silk. The camera's making a dash. I think that's too much light in here. Hang on. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful 800 meters of this gorgeous silk. It's not as bright, it's not as hot pink as this is looking. It's a little saturated, but it's so shiny. It's so delicious. There's 800 meters in this 100-gram skein. It's also to make this beautiful osmanthus shawl from Ellen Wright. Now, Ellen has got so many amazing patterns. It was so hard for me to choose. So you could go over and check out her work and see if there's just something you like and go and pick an osmanthus shawl for yourself. This month, the sweet treats. You've got a little Ferrero Rocher and a little toffee. And the beads to go with the silk. This beautiful peony, sort of just slightly a hint of mauvey colour. But you can't really see it in the camera, but there's a slight wash of a second pink, and it sits really nicely with those. But there's also extra beads this month because there were so many that I popped in extras. So that's a Mystery Lace Club for this month that went out. So I'm just, and then also you'll get a letter with a code, all that sort of stuff, but I'm not going to show that because that's a one-time use code. I'm going to wrap this back up, sneak that under there. I might have to pop a new sticker in. So what do you think? Chintamani says, I don't usually like pink, but that's a lovely shade. I agree with you, Chintamani. I'm not a pink person, but that pink just really sung to me. And so that's Mystery Lace Club for August. Is Fran Elliott off? Bye, Fran. I missed you. Oh, you better go and get some work done. See you later. Have a good day. Alison, oh, this is the one I will be getting. I hope so. I have a pink project that I need to do for next April, and that is perfect. Alison, it is. So that's the one you'll be getting, Alison. There's a couple of people who won a special Mystery Lace Club box because they were in the Bendigo raffle and they are here waiting to go to their new homes. Christine Jones says, I like the kit and the pink is beautiful. Thanks, Christine. I love it. All of it. Oh, thank you, you guys. You're awesome. Is it a punky pink? I don't think it's a punky pink. It's a I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's a beautiful pink. I'm not a pink fan, you guys, but that one just really, yeah. I don't know, I've got Alison's address, so I was waiting on something else for Alison. It's all right. Um, no, someone else's address I'm waiting on. Alison's got a little stockpile of stuff. But I've got to wait on one more thing. Sometimes it's just the shade that you like. That's right. It's an autocorrect pink. Oh dear. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say was I wanted to say thank you to Leanne Behrens. Leanne's our latest and greatest new Patreon member. Thank you so much, Leanne, for chipping in and popping your name down for every month to pop in a little donation to Fiberific's Patreon page. It all adds up. And that's how we, like, as you know, that's how we were able to replace this camera so fast, was that the Patreon money that I receive, I put it aside and I don't spend it, and I keep it, because sometimes something happens with our live streams, as you know, and we need to replace equipment by the next week. And if I've got to wait until I can save up, that means that the next videos are not good, and I don't like that. And it stresses me out when I can't give you what I want to give you. It's like when you make a gift for someone and it's not really what you wanted, but it'll have to do. That's how I feel when the live streams don't work. It's like I wanted to do a thing and the thing didn't quite work. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful for those people that have jumped over onto Patreon. There's a link there now. Thanks, Kim. And just pop in $1 or $2 a month. It makes a huge, huge difference to the quality of our stream. It makes a huge difference for me knowing that you guys actually really enjoy this, and that you're into it, because I sometimes think, and because I've said it out loud, what are you doing here? Why are you watching this? So, it's nice to know that it's kind of one of those things. This is going to come off probably a little crass, but it's like a put your money where your mouth is kind of thing. And it also makes me feel like more like I'm not doing this on my own or for myself. I'm doing it for you guys. And I'm doing it for all of you, whether you can afford Patreon or not. Don't get me wrong. But those of you that can afford Patreon, I just really appreciate that as well. Kim's saying, I want all the things, plus you can skip the ads guilt-free. That's the thing. Those of you that don't know, YouTube, which I may or may not have an ad. Did you guys get an ad at the beginning of this one? I've just realized I may have forgotten to click the button for it. YouTube roll ads. And unless you watch the ad all the way through, or for at least 30 seconds on those ridiculously long ones, which I don't get to choose which ads roll, then YouTube doesn't pay the person. So if you watch YouTube and just constantly skip the ad, then nobody gets paid. And while that's fine for some things, and every now and again I forget, like today I may not have ticked the button for monetizing, and sometimes YouTube doesn't have an ad available, like no one's interested, or not interested, but no one's got any funding to pay for an ad to roll, blah blah blah. But unless people actually watch the ads, then the actual creator, so it can be the biggest YouTubers out there, if you skip their ads, they get no YouTube revenue. And as I said, even with the small amounts that come through from Patreon, it makes a big difference. And it's the same for the YouTube AdSense. It's called AdSense. It's not a lot. It's really not a lot. So those people that put in even $1 a month over on Patreon for their views on my channel, they're getting that's way more than what YouTube will pay me for that month for your views. Does that make sense? So it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where like that, it's not out there. It's not written somewhere. It's not, hey, you've joined YouTube. That's great. Remember, don't skip the ads. They don't say any of that. And then put the skip ad button there, right there to click. So, when I'm using the tablet, I look so. You know what? I quite often will let an ad run while I go and get a drink. I don't watch the ad as such. They can't tell my eyes are on it, but they can tell if you skip it. Christine says, I hit thumbs up when it first came on. Thank you, Christine. That is brilliant. And that's the other thing, like for those of you that can't afford, or whatever, for whatever reasons, you don't do Patreon or you don't put purchases through on the website, whatever, thumbs upping, commenting, all these things, they really help. Sharing it. If you're in a part of a community, like today's video is a chatty, so I'd be surprised if you shared this one. But if you're in part of a community and someone's like, oh man, I wish I knew how to do this thing, and you know I've got a video on it, you can share my video. There's no problems. Chintami says there's no ads if you're on YouTube Red. Yes. Or YouTube Premium, as it's now known. I always click thumbs up. That's brilliant, Vilek. Thank you. And the reality is, even if you click your thumbs down, like I don't like thumbs downs, and I know whenever I see one, I'm like, But the reality is that they're equal weight. So I don't get punished by YouTube if it's thumbs down. But I think, what have I done wrong? What didn't they like? And like, I know that the dye stream that I did with Kylie has a thumbs down. And I'm like, why would somebody thumbs down that? And then I remember the audio is terrible. So, you know, that might be why. Not too much commenting though, otherwise YouTube thinks you're a bot. Okay, so but Kim comments all the time, you guys, because she's a mod, so she's doing all sorts of stuff. Every now and again, YouTube time her out because they're like, you're typing too much. Freaky says, oh, I thought YouTube was being mean when I type too fast or too often. Yeah, YouTube, it's a thing to protect the system, because some people, especially the bigger YouTubers, they get some really icky trolls in their live chat feeds. And so to sort of protect against that, they've got like, you can only put in a certain number of messages every 30 seconds. So you can't just be like filling up someone's thing with like all your hate, like bam, 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 every comment, all they see is horrible stuff. So YouTube have made it so that can't happen. So like, you know, we all have our issues with YouTube, I'm sure. But for the most part, I think they really do try to do their best. Where are we? I think people sometimes miss and click the wrong one, possibly as well. Leanne says, wow, I comment heaps but have never been timed out. Leanne, you comment often, but not like I'm just having a quick scroll through here, and like every second or third comment, except for maybe on average every fourth comment is Kim's. So yeah. Oh, maybe it's not that. No, it's not that. I don't have my glasses on, so I was just counting blue spanners. But I actually think maybe it's not quite that many. But Kim comments a lot, like a lot. When she ran the guess the number competition, everyone was getting timed out. Yeah, that was really bad. My posties here making. Oh, I've got to go for a second, guys. Hang on. I've got to sign. Sorry about that. It just jumped just to the other screen. It was like, it's like I'm on hold. It's a bit like that. What have I got here? I have a parcel. So let's drop down to this. You guys can be with me. I think it's something very exciting, like a cord. Like, I think it's a cord for something. Yes? It's an ACK E17 7.4 volt cord. It's very exciting. Very exciting, you guys. This cord, however, does excite me. Do you know why this cord excites me? What this cord does is makes it, this is like a dummy camera battery, right? And then you can plug that into your camera, close your little camera door, and then my camera's got like a little flap, you can open that up, and then you can actually DC power in. So I can actually run my camera through mains power now. I don't have to keep charging the battery, and then when the battery goes flat, I'm like, oh, I've got to wait, because one of my cameras, I only have one battery, which is stupid. But now I've got this. And one of the other reasons that this is so exciting is, you know how I was talking about how I bought gear to make the live streams better? One of the things is a way to capture a DSLR camera and run it through to replace this one that you're looking at right now. So this is a decent camera, but I'm going to be replacing my laptop to get a better laptop, and the camera on the new laptop, actually the new laptop has no camera. So this will mean that I can have a beautiful DSLR which gives us much better background shots and all that sort of stuff. And I can have it, you know, a bit off the table basically, and get the exact right height and off the table, and it's going to be so many good things. But I needed this cord to do it. So, and luckily for me, my camera had the option of that cord, because not all cameras do. So yes, techie stuff, more techie stuff. I've been getting techie stuff all the time. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we are all special. What have I missed? Let you bypass the battery and run the camera on DC power. That's exactly right. It actually, you put in this, it's just a plastic square with its, I'd say if I broke it open, there's some connectors running through to the end here. But yeah. And I've read some reviews on this particular model, and they're all good. So, can you control the aperture when it is in video mode? I can, but there are some things. Okay, so Kathy got her Tim Tams. Yes, I was getting a bit worried about that, Kathy. So basically, to get it to work on the particular camera model that I have, there was a couple of things that I had to turn off. And so it'll be a case of, I can manual focus, so I get it into like a spot where I'm happy. I can, you know, and I'll be able to reach it. It's just going to be just there. So I'm like, it's just going to be sort of here, or just I might have to lean like that. But yeah. Hello Kathy, did they melt at all is a question. Don't break it, I just got a good point, Freaky. That's a good point. I'll try not to. How does that sound? So we've got so many exciting things. Like, well, it's exciting for me. It's probably not that exciting for you guys. I never got no Tim Tams in my package. I'm sorry, Freaky. I filled your package with extra fluff instead. I hope that's okay. I had to sort of make a decision over weight wise, and it was just like extra fluff or 200 grams of things. So yeah, so I want to work on this, but I don't want to work like I want to selfishly work on it. So I've decided, you guys, I'm going to put it aside and selfishly work on it. It's going to be my little sneaky craft. So I'm sorry. I'm going to pack it up. That one's getting packed up. So where's the bag? Gone. It's gone. Oh, pack the patterns so I know where I'm up to. Goodness me, Chantel. Oh, look at your band. Yes, I've been loving it, but I've just decided, as everybody here can attest, that my brain can't deal with it while I'm live streaming. Better tech is exciting for all. It is. I think it is. I really do think it is. I'm just going to look where I'm up to on this and see if it's an easy spot or a hard spot. So bear with me. Oh, it's a hard spot too. That's why it's sitting in its bag. You guys, all my projects are up to hard bits. I'm going to go back up here. We just have a chat. Just me and you. Just have a chin wag with some coffee. Oh, the other advantage of the new camera setup is if I bang the table, that doesn't happen. So if I do this, like the Brio will still move, like the overhead camera, it'll still move a little, but the other camera won't. So there's some perks. It means I can be, you know, less rough. Freaky says Here's an idea. If I overpay my next door to stash the money for your YouTube techie toast. No, that's not going to happen. Poor old Freaky Geek got some bad advice from his bank. And when he bank transferred over the money, they said, oh, her bank's going to take like this much money out. And then my bank didn't. And I was just like, I can't transfer it back without losing over half of it. So I shoved stuff in the bag. Addy Day just got here. Hey, Addy Day. We've been talking about the Bantam again, as you could see. But yeah. Freaky thinks he's being called. Is the other camera going to float? I don't understand what that means. I'm going to put it on a tripod because it's a normal DSLR. I can just go on a tripod on the other side of my desk. Is that what you meant? I don't know. I don't know what you mean, Kim. At least your package wasn't jammed in your mailbox. Yes, Chintamani. Yes. And this... Okay, everybody, if you don't want to hear me complain about Australia Post, go and make a cuppa or pop your thing on mute for a second. Chintamani sent me a photo of her order. It's in a bubble wrap package, just like a A5 envelope, all bubble wrapped in because she had some tips in there. And I've sent so many parcels to Chintamani with not an issue. And so when she sent me this photo of her parcel, it looked like someone had literally scrunched it up and shoved it in her letterbox. When it's a parcel and it's supposed to go parcel post and it's supposed to be hand delivered to the door by a different kind of delivery driver. We pay for this premium. It is not the same price as a $3 stamp. It's a $9 parcel delivery. And so to see that, and so I happen to have been in the line at Australia Post shipping out that day's orders, and I said to this girls at Australia Post at the counter, which I know it's not their fault, I was like, check this out, and I showed them the photo and they were disgusted. They were absolutely blown away, and they've literally scrunched up, and they're like, how could this have been easier to put in this condition? I'm just so relieved that Chintamani's items weren't damaged. But at the same time, I get so frustrated with Australia Post, and they're constantly putting up their prices, and yet their service is just going down and down and down and down. Now, I'm really lucky here in my location. My delivery driver is phenomenal. My motorbike post, like the regular letter post dude, he's great. I'm very lucky, and I forget that not everybody has that level of service. So I'm just like, Kim says they've started giving the posties little trikes so they can deliver the smaller parcels. I saw that on the television. Or no, it was a newspaper article I saw. And it's just like, no, I don't pay for the delivery postman to shove it in a letterbox and break it. Because that's who delivered this. My normal delivery lady's already been this morning. So Australia Post had to deliver 2 parcels to my house, and rather than have the one delivery person drop them both off because they were both parcels, they've given one of the post the actual mailman, which is just silly. Kim says that's why I have a post office box so everything is safe and not jammed into things. I have a PO box too, but I don't always get to it, so some things I get delivered to the house. Addy Day says, I once had a parcel delivered which needed to be signed for, and it had a note from the delivery guy attached to it said, I hope you don't mind, but I signed this for you. Wow. Really? Like, I can see where he's coming from. Like, I didn't card you, so yeah, you don't have to go out again. But if something has to be signed for, it has to be in the hand of the person who's signing it. Thank you for giving me the thing. Here is the signature. Oh. Wow. Game Widow says her bike postie is good here, but the parcel dudes is a bit hit and miss. Those of you outside of Australia, I don't know how your postal system works. So when we have mail, there's a little guy that rides around on a motorbike popping it into everybody's letterboxes. And then when we have parcels, someone in a van comes around and drops the parcels in. or a truck or whatever. And that's it. So there's the Australia Post vans, then there's all the other courier companies. Leanne says Australia Post sucks and our postie is super rude. Yeah, it absolutely is. Naomi Jane says I prefer Fastway for my post, so much more friendly. See, I have an issue with my local Fastway. I've watched them literally just throw a parcel over my front fence and walk away. Like, because I've got like it's just a front fence with gates. It's just to keep the dog in. It's not like a big 6-foot fence and you can't get in without a code. It's literally open a gate, walk in. And I've watched them I'm surprised he got out of the car. He could have just hoiked it over the fence like a newspaper, but he literally threw it over the fence, landed in the middle of the driveway, so it hit the driveway. It was a breakable item, but thank goodness the person who shipped it allowed for that and had bubble wrapped it to the hill. But yeah. Gosh. Game Widow says, with that says DHL last week was amazing. They delivered my cards on a Sunday. I love DHL. I use DHL whenever I get an opportunity. That they are so much more expensive. But a lot of my international stuff I get to come through DHL. I actually prefer DHL over FedEx, which I was shocked to hear myself say. Chintami says, I've had stuff chucked over the fence too. It's ridiculous, isn't it? You pay for this service. You're paying a fairly expensive rate. And it's, yeah. And it says we have some really lazy ones that will leave you have a parcel to collect cards in the mailbox because they couldn't be bothered getting the parcel out of the van. My driveway is a little bit long. It's not like kilometres long or anything like that, but it's quite long for a standard house block. Our house is right at the back. And I've seen, but my old parcel delivery guy, he would pull up, get out of the van with an already written card and put it straight in the letterbox. And I'd be like, oi! And one time he literally ran into his van and jumped in and drove off. I'm like, where's my parcel? I swear he didn't even have the parcels in the van. He just had all the cards. It was ridiculous. Where are we? According to the help page, because if the parcel gets on the truck before they can attach the redirect label, that's just like, yeah. Hang on. The courier company here in New Zealand are quite variable in how they deliver things. Some knock and drop the package on the doorstep and run off before waiting for you to open the door. Yeah. Hey, Blind Needle, how you going? Game Widow says, happy to pay for the great service. See, I'm the same. If Australia Post could guarantee to me that they were going to deliver, knock on a door, wait for the door to be opened, and hand you the parcel, sign for it, whatever, or card you and then try and redeliver, because that's the other thing, DHL will redeliver. Whereas Australia Post, you have to go off and find Australia. Where I live, I'm very lucky, but I'm in this circle of 3 Australia Posts. So I'll get a redirect, like I get carded, and I actually have to work out which one have I got to go to. And I've been sent some weird places. I'm like, that's not even, where is that? And I'm like, found another one. I'm like, oh, hello. But yeah, so that's frustrating in itself, but DHL will redeliver, so that's really great. DHL are great here. They're awesome. Yeah, all my DHL drivers have been fantastic. I love them. I'm great, Blind Needle. How are you going? We're talking couriers who trash your post at the moment. We just had one of my customers sent me a text message of a photo of how her order arrived, and it was literally crushed and shoved in the letterbox. Like, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But what I want to talk about, again, because we've got some new faces in the chat, so I want to mention it one more time. So I'm just going to go to this hands down shot, is we've got kits ready. So we've got the Shane selection, which is my dad. This is the selection for his rain brioche hat that he wants. So some lovely Storm, which is this beautiful semi-solid warm grey. I know it's hard. It's warm grey sounds like a thing, but it's a real thing. Then we've got double shot coffee. Double shot. Then coffee. We've got latte. We've got burrow tails and aloe. And so these are all in one kit. And so that's $30. There's about 125 grams of yarn in total. So these are before post. So it's $30 plus whatever your postage is. And then, because I've just dumped stuff on top of this box. Hang on. Fix that. And this is the kit from the colours of the hat that I made that's up on Instagram. So this is Shanti's Brights. So again, we've got the Storm for our contrast. We've got Violetish. We've got Slimer. We've got Pink Lemonade, Tiff, and Dandelion. So it makes a beautiful hat. And again, 125 grams of yarn. And you can just jump over onto fibereffic.com.au this afternoon. They'll be up there soon, but they're not there yet. Very soon, very soon. They will be there today. And I'll put links out on Facebook, on Instagram. You guys know the deal. Can't help myself. I'm like, I've got a thing. Everybody go and look at my thing. Christine Jones says that she loves the Shane selection. I love it too. I really do. So this aloe colour is a variation on agave. So it's not agave, but it's because it's got sort of more chunks of colours. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reproduce it. I've written down how I did it, but it was a bit of a hinky one. So I can try, but I've definitely got enough for a few kits. So yeah. Alison says, back to the couriers, I got sick of them saying I wasn't home when I was and had specially stayed home for it. I know. That drives me insane. My personal favourite is the do not bend envelopes that are folded in half to fit in the mailbox. Oh my gosh, yes. Great gift idea for your knitting friends. Absolutely it is. I feel it should have had Joss instead of Pink Lemonade. I went with the Pink Lemonade because the Joss was just that little bit too much. Because I already had Slimer and Dandelion, but the Pink Lemonade worked better, I think. Kim says, I reckon coffees with blues would be awesome. We were tossing up about some blues, but we went with what Dad wanted for this particular one. There may be another one in the future. Don't worry. We'll see how these ones go. If people like these ones, we might expand the colour range. The actual depot had to drive past to get to the collection. That's ridiculous. Do I have any fingering weight double shot in stock? I don't think I do, but we've got a die list. So we can add double shot in the fingering weight to that. Coffee and Lake. Hang on a second. I mean, I've got Lake here. Okay, I mean, it's fingering weight, Lake. Oh, hang on. Come. Oh, no. Anyway, I've undone that ball. It's a bit of a mess. Fingering weight, Lake and coffee. Is that that's what you wanted to see? So, Lake and coffee. They do definitely work together. I mean, that's fingering weight, and this is DK. But I'm just looking more at the colours. Yeah, they could definitely work. They could work, for sure. I mean, they do work. I have got a mini set with those colours in it. So, yeah, but definitely we can work on some double shot. I will put that in my die list right now. Hang on a second. Keep. Sorry, I'm laughing because my phone just changed the spelling of shot. It wasn't double shot. So that is now in next week's die list. Try not to look. I just realized, oh my god, I've got messages. I'm like, no, don't look at the messages now. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so we've got some really fun kits coming. There's more kits on the way for different things. We've got some crochet kits coming, some more knit kits coming. But some of those will be a little slow. I'm going to be down in Melbourne for VidCon, so I'll be down there from the 18th through to the, I want to say 22nd, Wednesday to Monday, whatever that is, Wednesday to Monday. And so I will definitely be definitely be making be a bit harder to make things when I'm in another state. And we're going to be training Tammy up to be able to take over some of the jobs here, so we'll have more time for this, which also means that we'll have an extra set of hands when we're balling up or kitting up things, which will be really helpful. So I'm really looking forward to having Tammy start. I'm very excited. I'm overexcited, guys. I'm totally overexcited. So I will get these kits up and ready this afternoon. So what I'm going to do is, do you know what I'm going to do? Fingers crossed we don't crash the stream, guys. We're going to go over. I'm going to just jump over onto Google Chrome. I'm not going to share the stream just because I haven't got it set up. But I'm going to jump into the Fibrific website right now. I'm doing it right now. You can't see what I'm doing. And I'm going to release these kits right now. So they will have the names of the colors, but the photos are not there. It'll have a photo of the overall hat, my original hat that I made. So bear with me while I'm just logging in. It's just taking a little second because I'm sharing bandwidth here. So hopefully I have not destroyed the stream by doing this. We'll soon find out, won't we? Let me just go back. There we go. Yeah, I have destroyed the stream. It's slowed right down. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me. So let me, come on. You can do this. You can do it. You can do it. Maybe it can't. Maybe I'm asking it to do too much. Bear with me, everybody. One more minute. We'll try for one more minute. I have to go into it because it's a draft. We're nearly there. Buffering but hanging on. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Come on, laptop. You can do this. All right. Publish is what we want. Come on. Can you still hear me, guys? I know we're buffering. It's published. All right. Okay. I've stopped doing all the things. We'll give it a little second. All right. Is it just me? No, it was buffering. We should be good. Let me just check. Maybe I broke the stream. Hang on. Are we good now? No, I broke it. I broke the stream. Oh man. Sound but not video. Okay. Well, I've stopped doing all the other things and I've shut them all off, so nothing else should be running. It just might need a second, you guys. But what I've done is I have released the kits. I've released the kits, so the kits are available up on the website. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. So, I totally broke the stream in releasing the kits. That's the worst. So yeah, so we've got the kits are released. They're up on the website. We might have to go. It's not coming back. It's not coming back, you guys. Oh no, hang on. I'm going to try. I'm trying some stuff here, you guys. I'm trying some things. No, definitely frozen. You can hear Snowy. You guys can still hear me. All right, well, I can't. I don't know what I've done wrong. What I'm going to try and do is change to something else. See if that makes any difference. Judders the system a little. No, it didn't work. All right, you lovelies. The kits are now live over on the YouTube, over on the Fibrific page. Rain Brioche kits. But I'm freeze framed. At least I'm freeze framed, not doing something crazy like, which you didn't get to see because I'm freeze framed. So lucky. So yeah, so go and check for the kits there to make sure they're there. Oh, I just saw something move. Maybe you will get to see my crazy face I pulled. It's about 11:30 here, my friend, so I'm going to head off. I'll try never to do that again. I don't know if it was the internet that played up or if it was my laptop. My laptop just revved right up and got really hot all of a sudden. So I don't know which one it was that's making it play up. But the kits are now live right now. So first in, first served for this current batch of kits. And we'll get those out. I know I moved. It's exciting, isn't it? But anyway, I will catch you all later. You all be good. And slowly she